Here with reaction, former Secretary of State and Fox News contributor Mike Pompeo. Secretary Pompeo, great to have you. The language of the Biden administration appears to have changed. Biden was asked, are you close to a deal on the hostages? He said, quote, I believe so, with his fingers crossed. John Kirby, his spokesperson, said, we're closer than ever. This is different than what we heard previously, which is, look, we're not going to negotiate on hostages from the podium. Why the change in language?
Okay, that's great to be with you. I suspect that they've been working to try and figure out how to bring these people home. I pray that that's so. I pray that they all get back to their families. But the cost of doing that, it appears the Biden administration is raising. That is, they're raising the risk that Israel will be told to stand down to stop the destruction of Hamas, which is necessary for the protection not only of the Israeli people, but for America as well. I don't know what they're contemplating in terms of an arrangement. I want these hostages home. I've met with these families. It is horrific. But every one of these losses of life is a responsibility of the Iranian regime and Hamas. The fact that there are innocent Gazans being killed, that's the responsibility of Hamas. And it is the responsibility of Iran and Hamas to return these prisoners and to ask Israel to do a deal which will give Hamas the chance to rearm, regroup, and reload. Presents enormous risk not only to the soldiers of the IDF, but to the hostages themselves.
You know, and I just think about 10-month-old Kafir Bibis. I mean, he spent a tenth of his life. Think about that, a tenth of his life in the hands of Hamas terrorists. It's a tragedy. But a lot of people may not realize during our administration, during the Trump administration, we had great success in getting hostages released. Ambassador Robert O'Brien, you, Secretary Pompeo, all key in that. What made the Trump administration so successful that adversary said, yes, it is time to release an American?
Kayleigh, we were serious people, and this is an administration that has been deeply unserious when it comes to pushing back against the Islamic Republic of Iran and its hostage-taking. You'll remember it's not that long ago that we paid $6 billion in ransom to get back 5 Americans, and within just a handful of weeks, there's now more Americans than that held by the Iranian regime. When you are unserious, the bad guys perceive that they can move about the cabin freely, they can take Americans, they can fire over 4 dozen attacks on American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines in the Middle East. They can do these things with impunity because the administration hasn't demonstrated a credible deterrent threat. That's the fundamental difference. When you are serious, nations will return those that they have wrongly held. They won't attack your folks. And when you demonstrate real resolve, when you are prepared to actually deliver on the promises you make, you are prepared to defend the red lines that you have drawn, you can convince the bad guys to step back. And sadly, the Biden administration, whether it was in Afghanistan, where there were 13 Americans killed, or now with these attacks in the Middle East on our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, we've lost that very deterrence that we had for 4 years, Kayleigh.
And you bring that up, the Iranian attack, 61 attacks on American service members in Syria and Iraq. And there's this line in the Washington Post, and you know how this works. You know, every department in the administration has a press team, and there are things that leak. And oftentimes people leak to the press when they're unhappy with something, when they disagree with the actions of the administration. And here you go. In the Washington Post, a senior defense official said the Pentagon has provided additional options to the president beyond the actions that have been taken to date. That's against Iranian proxies. This person affirmed, too, that within the Department of Defense, there is growing doubt about the present approach. Is this members of the Pentagon unhappy with President Biden and the weakness he's taking? Because they're giving him other options. He has other options.
Kayleigh, I'm sure that's what it is. You're right. This happens in every administration. It happened in ours, too. When they don't get the answer they look for, some bureaucrat leaks something. In this case, I'm confident that's true. I'm confident that President Biden was presented a full range of options, almost all of which would have been more responsive, more aggressive, more protective of these American soldiers than the ones that they've chosen to date. And so I think the Pentagon is out signaling, hey, we got to do more. If we're going to deter the Iranian regime, we have to at least acknowledge that they were the ones responsible for what happened, the barbaric attacks of October 7th, when in fact the Biden administration has just refused to acknowledge that. We have to do the fundamental blocking and tackling to protect Israelis and Americans and, frankly, the broader Middle East against these barbaric attacks by the Iranian regime itself.
You know, one of those Iranian proxy groups is the Houthis. You know them well. Because here's what you did to the Houthis, who, by the way, they've taken out a $30 million American Reaper drone. They're now seizing ships that are linked to Israel. That's what they're doing, up to no good. Here's what you did. On January 15th of 2021, you designated them a terrorist group. January 15th, Biden, February 4th, delists them as a terrorist group. Why would he possibly do that?
It's unexplainable, Kayleigh. They've now committed terror attacks in abundance over the last 2.5 years, further demonstrating that what I did in January of 2021 was correct. They are terrorists. They're terrorists that, much like Hamas, much like Hezbollah, much like the militias that are operating inside of Iraq, they are funded, trained, directed by the Iranian regime. I can't for the life of me imagine why the Biden administration chose at the very beginning of its time to delist them, other than the Biden administration wanted to go on bended knee to the Iranians to try to get back into the silly nuclear deal that President Obama had gotten us into in the first place.
Well, that bended knee resulted in dead Americans and now American hostages. Such a tragedy. Peace through strength out the window. Secretary Pompeo, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.